Hi everyone, welcome back to another Wednesday, 5:05. My name is Susan Ibitz. I'm a human behavior hacker. Some people hack computers. I hack humans. Elba.
Hi everyone, my name is Elba Oribe. I'm a human behavior hacker too, and I'm the CEO of Latin America.
Guess who got married this week? Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. I'm not into rom-com or pink rom-com, I don't know how you name it, with the romantic things, but I always like a happy ending. And as soon as I say it, I think that it didn't come up right. But anyway, it's a happy ending. They ended up together. So we have another recording planned for today about years that we're going to do. It's nothing new happen next week. But guess what? Let's go to the basic face reading and how and why these two maybe work. Ella, what do you think?
Yes, I think finally, 20 years after. So it's like, okay, finally. So I think this one is going to be really good because we are going to know what happened then and what is happening now. So let's take a look.
I don't know which one have more engagements and weddings, Jennifer Lopez or Elizabeth Taylor. I didn't check that, but I think they go head to head.
Yeah, they can be like, because Jennifer Lopez, oh my God.
And I don't think that Jennifer Lopez remarried the same husband because Elizabeth Taylor did it with Rod Hudson. No, Rod Hudson, I don't remember, with the guy who she did Cleopatra. So not sure, but we should research that.
Okay, I'm going to look for it because you know me. I want to know.
But before we go, the reason we are again wearing matching t-shirts is you're going to see the picture. I can see in the green of your t-shirt, you can see the background for your green screen. So here is the reason we have matching t-shirts. People who is your audience, who become your students, who become your friends. We met with Stacy and her fiance when Elba was visiting here in the state, and we get together for breakfast and both show up with red glasses mask and two skull t-shirts, and we're like, oh my God, and a box of gift for Michael, my raccoons, for Elba, for myself, and one of the gifts were these two t-shirts for Elba and myself to wear it. So it's not related to the show, but I think it's important to understand when you building a community different than you networking. This is a community. Our students are part of a community where we become friends, and just happen that Stacy and myself, we are neighbors. We live on the same area. So Stacy, this is for you, girl. Thank you very much. We love it. And for all the production, the t-shirt, go to Wyatt wearing red glasses. You kill it, girl. Thank you very much. Now let's go to the Benifer is the way they name it?
The nickname. Yes, to Benifer.
If they work for them. Let's go to the show. Benifer, and now she changed her name to Jennifer. The second name Affleck is the first time that is the first time that she changed her name.
Yeah, it's the first time. I don't know where. I think she had an interview, and when they talked to her, and she said like, "No, I'm Jennifer Affleck." But yeah, it's the first time because always is J-Lo or Jennifer. See.
Well, it looked like it's gonna stay if you change your name. They'll stay. Again, nothing against or in favor. It sometimes takes a tribe to find your love, but let's go to the story. And let's go to a little video telling what happened and how they met.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask. Do we know each other?
Not yet.
look amazing. She's about 1 year older than I am, and she still looks like 30.
Yes.
And actually was reading this morning that it was a controversy on TikTok when she was presenting her skin line, that, well, it's easy for you when you have so much Botox and work done on her face. And she's like, no, that is my face. That is my skin. I'm Latin. So actually Latin people and dark skins have better resistance and less wrinkles. And she replied really politely, like, if you spend less time criticizing others and be in a happy place, maybe you wouldn't have so much wrinkles being younger than I am. Like, wow, that is an answer. But she looked at me, ouch, ouch. That is an answer. I would like to say the same to some people who is not polite in YouTube. Remember, if you like these videos and you like this material and you want to share with others so they can be part of the tribe, put like and don't forget to hit the bell. Put your comments. The only thing, be respectful on us, the work we do, hell, mosquito, and our guests. That's it. We can have a civilized conversation. You don't need to agree. We can open a conversation. We love to do that, but be respectful, because from now on, we're going to erase all the comments that are inappropriate. Again, I think that we can be adults and talk about those things. So how you find us, besides that you are in the YouTube, so the only thing you need to do is subscribe and hit the bell. You can go to Susan Ibitz, a Human Behavior Lab in YouTube. And this is 20 years on the making. I was watching this weekend how they did The Godfather. Holy cow. Holy cow. If you haven't seen that series, and I think it's CBS, you need to watch it. And on Sunday after that, I watch all the Godfathers after to like, oh, I want to know when they say this, what was happening. It's amazing. So it took longer to make this relationship than I think Star Wars or The Godfather or the chronology. So yes. Here we are. Bennifer 20 years ago. Okay, which one? Oh my God. He looked like he could be, and I don't know if he did a couple of movies when he's a gangster. He looked like those Italian gangsters.
Yes. Uh-huh.
He had
even the first movie that Jiggling, what is the name? The first one. I don't remember the first one that when they met, he was some kind of a gangster there, Italian gangster.
Oh yeah, because he had that look. Okay, which one you want to take first?
Okay, I want to take first Jennifer.
Ooh.
And I want you to pay attention to two things here, to her forehead and to her eyebrows, because you can see here she's kind of tend to be like the step-by-step, and I need all the information. She processed the information in a really like step-by-step. And then you can see the eyebrows. But I think that's one is your specialty. So that's why I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, go with the ears. Okay, let's do this. Okay. We have pick and choose with Elva when we train, and we're going to talk about the 2 live classes that we are recording on the next 2 weeks that you can be part of as a member of our newsletter when we fight with Elva. Okay, you talk about ears, I talk about eyebrows. So let's start with the beginning. The beginning is our ears are our antenna. And I love how Elva put it like a parabolic antenna. That's how you intake information. So Elva, tell me which kind of ears and process and intake information J-Lo and Ben have or had.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the Ben. Why? Because he's visual, really visual. His antenna is in his eyes. Now he has another thing here. He tend to look things that no one else see it before. So he's outside the box. So he's visual, and he is the one that takes things and put it in another level. So it's completely outside the box. And here with Ben, I need you to pay attention to the ears here, the inner reach. I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm going to say it before. So pay attention to that. Now, she tend to look outside the box too, and she's visual. So both can be overloaded with too much images or graphics of things.
Yeah, and one thing is like his forehead and his nose are not indicative of an extremely creative person. Actually talk about a person that is extremely structured against her, that everything is created. But actually, the ears and the position and the shape of the ears that Ben Affleck have is what it make him creative. When you need to think outside the box, when you have the tendency to be a person thinking outside the box, not always happen in the creative way, is when you see things in a different way. And he does that. Actually, the first movie that he created with Matt Damon, it was a completely different story. This is how he won his first Oscar, and he wrote and directed that movie that is completely outside the box, the topic that they're talking about. So that is his creative side. When we talk about creativity on the face, some people get confused that one feature fits all, and no. It's dependent what creativity you use. If you look on his career, he has been a process of creating, because he created the process fitting the way he see the world, or at least see it the world at that point. She is created on the visual side to thinking outside the box, but creating things that are outside the box, outside an structure. That's the reason she is so good with the choreography, with the videos, with the way she managed the career, the way she presents herself, the outfit. They are extremely visual. I saw one of her concert when she was married with Mark Anthony in Miami, and it was like, holy cow. Thank God I was on the back end. I don't like to go concerts on the front because you miss the show.
Yeah.
So I was... Yeah, it's too near, and for a visual person was too much. So I was sitting on the top watching, and like everything was perfection, and every part of the scenario was something going on. Beyonce have the same, Kiss have the same. I went to see AC/DC, and even though it's a hardcore rock band, they have that creativity. Obviously get to a point that you hire someone, but when you see these people starting, Lady Gaga have the same.
Lady Gaga, Tootsie.
The ears, the tip of the nose, the forehead, and the ears stick out, and the inner ridge, like you says, and I'm not going to ruin again. You are the godfather of ears. Now that I saw the Godfather, I'm going to start calling you Dave Lorenzo. Is going to kill me because he have the Godfather nickname, Dave Lorenzo. We love you, and he always says, "I'm going to make your clients an offer they cannot refuse." Ooh. But you're the Godfather of ears now. So that's the way you can measure creativity. Again, one feature doesn't fit it all. That's the reason we call it not only face reading, we call it face reading profiling. Why? Because you need to combine feature. Again, Hillary, one of our students, this Monday wrote a lovely email and says, finally, after repeating your class for so many times, finally click. And the most important thing, the click, is this is not complicated. It's complex, and when you're relaxed and you enjoy the journey, the homework, the open classes, and the Facebook group, and you team up with others, suddenly your head explodes and you can see all. So that's what is called profiling. He is created in a structured way. He's going to be taking notes. He's going to be making charts and how he can make this work. She is going to be vision boards. That's the two ways you are creative. And when you're creating something, you need to have a different approach. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the chins, that's something that...
Yes.
You was about to talk about the same?
No, I when I put the picture, I try to not look at them because I want to do it like we talk about, like we always said, like without net. But the chins for me was like, oh yeah, okay. I don't want to look them. I don't want to.
Okay, tell me about the chins. What do you see about the both chins?
I'm going to say one thing here. He's assertive, and he is afraid from the critics. So you can imagine how they can deal with that. He is like, I don't care what people think about me. I do care. the critic, for me, it's going to be like, even if you say it in a good way, she's going to feel like threatened. And he's like, I don't care. This is the way it is. So if you take it, take it. If you're not, leave it.
Yeah. And she have a small chin. The critical line is kind of blurry for me. I don't know if it's the lip a critical line, but after now, when you was talking, I was paying attention. It's a critical line with a folded lip. They're two together. So yeah. And he's really playful in the way that he approached. In Chinese face reading, they says that such a dimple too deep has to do with indulgent, and sometimes indulgent too much. And it's not fair to say, I don't know him, I haven't talked to him, and I don't believe everything that I hear in the media, but he have recognized that sometimes he indulged too much with gambling and alcohol. So it's not our turf, Chinese face reading. We have research with Elva. We incorporate things between the Asian and Western face reading, and we put it together in our own complex in our own program. That the reason we have 235 features in our trainings and our readings instead to the 160 or 190 the another again the Asian or the Western face reading have. Even you can find it on the Judaism, you can find it in some place in South America. So face reading has been developed with people around the world.
Yes.
Guess what? Without knowing each other is crazy. One day we're gonna talk about all the places where face reading has been used and all the studies. And actually, the longest study on the history of behavior, longer than Darwin's and Ekman, has done with face reading and symmetry. So when we talk so much of symmetry, in this case, we didn't do it because we're going to go to the happy place. But yeah, everybody, by the way, had it. But the chin they have, it can be clapping all the time. He's more square footage. Let's go. He have a bigger bulldog, and she have a small chin. Small chin are more prompt to criticism. We're not going to say she is, but she have some of the features of the witches in Hollywood.
Yes. And you know what? That now that I'm looking at the pictures, there's one thing that got my attention too. It's here she tend to cover everyone under her umbrella. But him, it's more independent. He goes first. For her, her people, her family, her the ones that are close to her go first. And for him, it's him. So I go first, you go first. So that for me can be another point of like fighting or conflict there.
Yeah, and both have protruding chin. They're really assertive.
Oh my God.
So they're assertive in another way. But you have to Mike Tyson on the best time of his career.
You can imagine that?
Yeah, she's more prone to let it go than he is prone to let it go.
Yes.
He is going to come back. Actually, in this discussion, she's going to be like, enough is enough. And people think that because it's a female or is Latin, is going to be more volatile. Actually, he can be more aggressive when he talk.
And he can come back with the same thing, even when she said like, no more, I had enough. And he can come back like, no, this is what happened. Oh my God. Yeah.
Anything else that spot your attention? We can be 2 hours only with these two pictures. That's one of the things, one of the lovely things about face reading. You don't need a video. And video, sometimes you can see what feature maybe can be. One of the features that can change, two features that can change when you have a video is the lips, how sometimes lips disappear or show. Actually, the eyelids can change too, and the eyebrows. You can have different process information. What can be when you're taking information and when you're analyzing and pull the trigger with information. But basically, you can see those things for the CrossFit, their form. I would say the way they do process information both is really similar. Both are like, we want to be right based on data. We don't want to waste too much time when we make the decisions, but on the gathering process of information, they want to know more and more and more. So they can have the possibility to be procrastination by perfection because something else is going on. So more and more. And I would say that it makes sense with her. What is the next best thing? I don't close the chapter here because there's something better going on out there. So like every feature and everything that we have in our personality is not what we do, it's how you utilize. It's nothing wrong or right. Some people say, oh my God, I have pointy eyebrows, I'm doomed. Like, no, wait a minute. Who you are, where you are, and where you're going is thanks to your pointy eyebrows. So thank God. Well, I'm too emotional, too people person. Well, you have a business who you need to be people person. So your round eyebrows are perfect. Straight eyebrows. I'm too hard with people. Like, well, you're a CPA, you're an accountant, or you're a lawyer. You need to go to the point. So your process information is related to your pros and cons. But when you know those things about yourself, because the first phase we read is what, Elva?
Ourselves.
Yes. So when you know that about yourself, it's easy to know those are things that are going to happen when you're under stress. And even though you can learn to control it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And I think when you know who you are, you can know how you can use your things in your advantage. I think that's the good thing of face reading, because you are going to read your face first. So you are going to know you better. So you are going to know where you can have the opportunity to improve, or where you have the strength to do something. So I think that's the good part here.
Yes, boss, I completely agree. Are you ready to go now?
See.
Well,
please.
How they are now, 20 years later. Again, I think that they're going to do the Bennifer movie. They need to. Come on, it's amazing.
You know what? They have been friends since they met to today.
And so it's funny. It's funny. I didn't know that 5 months later, actually, that she broke up with Ben. She married Mark Anthony. Like, she didn't waste any time. No. I think it take me longer to choose the color of my walls. That's the reason half of my office is not done. So yeah, I think I have more pointy eyebrows than they have. And my proxemic is higher.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, for the ones who had been writing me to see what we didn't show the last weekend of doing okay. No, I have the worst COVID case I ever. Even though they told me I'm negative, this is COVID 101. My lungs, my eyeballs, where I have the feeling they were jumping from my eye sockets. It was horrible. I'm out of COVID, but my lungs, my coughing, so my throat, and I keep training. I've been doing training on the weekend, training during the day. I have done so far in the last 2 weeks, 9 presentations, 9 keynote speaking presentation, working in cases and presenting in front of law firms. It's a miracle we are here. I need to say I couldn't have done it without you guys. Elva, you saved my ass more than once in these 2 weeks. And I think it's going to be like two more until I'm out of the water.
Yes, until you get like in your like zone, it's going to take time. So.
Oh my God. And you had it 2 times this year too. And funny, we had it at the same month. I had it first in January and you had it at the end of January. You had it on the beginning of June, at the end of June. I had it in July. Stop jinxing me, girl. I love you to death, but not to that point that we need to synchro our COVIDs.
Yeah, they're synchro. It's like, okay, I had it, you are going to have it too. You had it, I'm going to have it too. So yeah, I had it twice this year. So yeah.
No. You know, they say when females work together, they synchro. Not that one. No, thank you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, before we go to these inappropriate conversations that we always have, that's what happened with all the team is female. We have only one man, poor Andy. Every time that we jump in a meeting with Andy, is like, what I'm missing, like, oh, so much, honey. What we're talking about here is face reading profiling. We have 3 programs now. The last one that I'm going to show you is the one we finally on this week. We have Face Reading Profiling Pro. If you want to become a pro and face reading profiler, and this program is 2 years with coaching with us on the group. The coachings are recording. You're going to have it in audio, workbook, homework, every Friday. The homework, you can bring your own pictures and your own people, and people who's driving you crazy that week, you can read them. So that is the pro class. Is only application only. You cannot go to the website to buy it. You need to set a meeting with us. Sorry, guys, but we're going to make sure that our community is the way they need to be. We allow some people to get on the class in the beginning. It was a huge mistake. There wasn't a fit. They didn't do the homework. They're not willing to do the work. And we prefer to have a small group doing the work. Now, if you want to just have an intro to face reading profiling, you can do this class that is 10 features in 2 weeks. It's 10 features in 10 days for marketing purpose, but is 2 weeks. It's a fast. You can be reading people after this class, no problem. And we're going to talk about the challenge that we're running. 500,000 people watch the challenge. Guess what? 350 registered for the challenge. Is crazy. The link is below too. Finally, we have been teasing people with Richard Harris for the Harris Consulting Group, and we have been asked to meet face reading with salescraft. Richard Harris is one of the most seasoned sales reps trainers out there. He owned one of the most successful training companies. Richard and myself, we have been doing things for almost a year and a half. And finally, people is like, can you package the training you guys do so we can repeat it once and once, because it's too much information. So we developed this 2-month program called Sales Intelligence, Introduction to Selling. Richard is going to tell you how to do the respect contract, how to talk about pricing versus commercial terms, how to, when you get ghosted, when you need to approach people, how to prospect, how to address the emails, how to follow up. And I'm going to be mixing with him during these two months when he talk about the respect contract, how to do it, and what are the features on the face you need to see when you need to do that respect contract. Now, the good news is we have 2 more sessions to record beside the one we already did with sales, face reading for sales. So if you want to be part of the recording, you need to be in our newsletter. If you are part of our tribe who received the newsletter, you can register. So you still have time for the next 2 sessions. Do not miss this. And we're so happy. And we have 1 more class to go this year, but this is going to take longer because we're recording in a company. So they allow us to record live. So that is going to take longer, but I think maybe it's going to come up in October. Okay. And this is the famous picture about Jennifer Lopez when she showed on the TikTok and Instagram that she doesn't wear any makeup. I'm sorry, she does wear makeup, my mistake. She does wear makeup, but she doesn't have any injections done. I have a friend, Sandra. She is really similar to Jennifer Lopez. I always make fun of her, and she's Venezuelan, and she have this skin until the age of, I would say 60, 61, she didn't show any wrinkles. No wrinkles. She have the same type of skin. So I have saw people who doesn't have gray hair until really, really late in life. And some people do not have wrinkles. So I'm not saying that she's lying. What I'm saying is I saw it. We study faces. We see faces. So that can happen. And oh my God, his eyes change so much. Hers not.
Hers not. And remember that I told you to pay attention to the ear. You can see how the inner reach, this part, start disappearing. Mm-hmm. So he start having his own world, his own bubble, and everything works inside this bubble, not outside. So
the world, I would say the world is painted the color he choose to, not the color it is.
It needs to be, and it make coherence with the stick out ears.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he's still seeing things that no one else did before, and he still thinks outside the box. So he can change the things that if it doesn't work for him, he can change it and make it happen again.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about the before and after because we have the comparison of all the pictures, so it's gonna be clear for you to follow and understand the changes. But I would say both eyebrows change. His forehead change.
You see? Yes. It wasn't like that.
The tip of the nose, the forehead, the eyebrows, and the ears change it on both.
On both. And for her, I think if you can see it in her business side, she tend to be more like following the rules that they have there. So she instead to be thinking outside the box, she is like, okay, let's do what it needs to take to do. Why? And this is one thing that I was reading about her, because she had been doing movies, like a lot of movies. And the last movie that she did, she follows what she thinks that can make her have an Oscar and be for the Oscar there. And they didn't put her in that place. So that's why she.
Oh, the one on the strippers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, actually, it was a really good. I'm not a film critic, so you can say, Susan, what the heck are you talking? You nobody to say. Just a person who loves movies, and I don't care what the critic says. I think that she did an amazing job, like Sharon Stone in Casino. I think they stole her. I think they stole her Oscar on Casino, and in this case, I think Jennifer Lopez deserved it. She did an amazing job.
Me too. I saw the movie and I was like, wow, yeah, she deserved it. And that's why I think that's why they changed too. So what I need to do in order to get what I want. If I need to follow this, okay, let's go to follow the rules. Let's go to be in the same path. But at the end of the day, she didn't have it. But I think, and she knows it. But it was a really good movie. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? And the reason that what happened is she used to have the ears way more stick out. Now she's more it's not a conformist, but it's more conform. It's more conform with the norms. So we need to understand the difference to be conformist. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take whatever. And another one is like, okay, what are the rules of the step that I need to follow in order to get there? And actually makes sense with her career path. She has been super consistent keeping her. So she started as a dancer, doing choreographies for others until she finally can become a singer. She become an actress, and now she become an entrepreneur. J-Lo is a brand in herself. Yeah. Now she followed the step. She keep following the step, and her thickness on the eyebrows, either because she let the hair grows, or because her eyebrows changed. And again, I show you pictures, Elba, that I went from brown eyebrows to straight eyebrows to pointy eyebrows, and without changing or doing anything until I microblade a couple of years ago. But my hair grow on top of the microblading. It's not supposed to happen. So honest, I microblade my eyebrows. I didn't feel that what I was seeing on the mirror was a real reflection of myself. So it happened. It can change. But in her case, they follow the path. The ears and the eyebrows make sense. Now they go together, reflecting what she had done in her career. Now his eyebrows change it too. And let's go to see the difference if you don't have anything else to mark here. Because
yes, just one thing.
His mouth. I'm going to talk about his mouth.
Yes, but I think one thing that we talked before about the weight of the nose. Now he's covering too, so you can see how things can change. It's amazing for me when I see faces, and I was funny because I had a meeting in the school of the girl at the school of the girls, and all the parents were there. I was like, wow, this is a salad for me because you can see a lot of things here. So yeah.
No,
That's
it's a
how I
pizza. It's a pizza with a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of pepperoni and cheese. Let's be
I
honest.
need to be honest, a pizza. Yes.
Yeah, a salad for you gonna be a torture, but for you a pizza is that's where you enjoy. Let's put it over there.
Yes.
We love
Yes,
pizza,
yes.
girl.
I love it. It's like it's like the pizza. Yes.
Guess what Elba asked? The first thing she asked when she came to visit, Susan, how many times we can have pizza? And I even ordered pizza in advance, and I keep it on the fridge. So as soon as all of them. So as soon as she landed here in Chicago, I took her to eat. The first one I took her to eat steaks, but when we came home here in Indiana, it was like, oh, okay. And I opened the fridge, and there were pizza in all the colors and all the shapes. And some of the pizza that were so big that we need to cut it and fold it.
We had it in the counter, and both were like, "This is not going to fit in the fridge." See,
when Nico was here from Denmark, it was the same thing. Okay, what are you gonna eat? But she chose to eat juice, to do juicing for a week when she was here.
Okay, no, I didn't. I want pizza.
That's okay. She's a runner, so she does those things. Like, I need to do detox. Like, why? We're gonna be drinking water and even and having pizza. Like, nope, let's do a juicing. And that's where I start getting sick, when I start getting healthy.
Yes.
Getting
but
healthy
it's worth it.
Getting healthy is gonna kill me. I lost 10 pounds. Happy for that, but it's gonna kill me. Differences. Okay. What we see here, which one you want to go first? Actually, his ears go so low now.
I didn't pick it up in the last one because I think the high of the ears, you need to be like have the compare in front so you can see it.
No, but you can still see it, honey. It's like, and what we talk that in a class when we have the open class, people says, well, is the angle of the picture, because when we send the homework, we send people who's like tilted the head and like they get confused. You need to train your eyes to how to measure the features, and only 90% of the pictures you're going to find about people you're going to profile before you met them are going to be in a perfect 90-degree angle. So it's not that we trick you guys, it's the way is going to happen. But okay, I'm going to be pointy. You see the outer contour of the eye? If we do, okay, if we draw a line, you're going to see that it's almost a pinky finger under that. So no matter, and it's the same in both. He become less running. And what else, Elba? I'm sorry, I'm getting in your turf. You go with yours.
He started to be like, he was like, I want it now. And now he is like, no, I want it right. It's a difference. I need all the information. I don't want to miss anything. And in the first picture, 20 years ago, he was like, okay, give it to me right now. I need it right now. And he was impulsive, and he made the decisions like, if he feels like it was a good decision, he make it. Now he's like, no, first give me all the information. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go back with you with questions. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. So it's not about doing now, it's about doing right.
And what about her? The things that we were talking about, like what the kind of Jennifer Lopez is now, and the Jennifer Lopez who she was, and what are the things that you can point about those things that we mentioned, that why she becomes so consistent on the years? And you can take eyebrows, because I talk about years too, so I got on your turf.
No, yeah, it's like, first 20 years ago, she knows what she needs to do in order to get where she is now, right? She goes outside the box. If you look her concerts, her things, her movies, there are things that they go outside. Now she knows that she wants other things and she needs to go with the rules, the established rules. So she's going to that place to conquer the things that she wants. And you see, I want to pick something here, the forehead. Even she follows the rules, she's creative with those roles.
Mm-hmm. And what
She's
happened
still-
with his forehead too?
Oh my God, he was to be like, okay, like so structure and step by step, and he knows he is creative.
And
So-
even the tip of the nose changes.
Yes, the tip of the nose change. So he's looking for more creative things. With outside the box thinking, he can create new things that no one else had before.
Yeah. So now he take his time. He is more creative, thinking about it, see how they can work. But when he need to process information and pull the trigger, is 1, 2, 3.
It's one,
His eyebrows. I would say his business eyebrows is the one who changed the most. On her case, both eyebrows changed it. She was more pointy, now she's more forward, and she started having hair in all the eyebrows, meaning that she's not good only on the creative and somebody else need to execute. Now she become an executor. Executor is not an executionist. It's not somebody's gonna kill you. Let's be clear. An execution person is somebody who plans something and execute it and make it happen. Ilva and I, we have the same eyebrows. And so in 5 minutes, we can go to, actually, we have another show planned to record Monday. We ended up recording today and Wednesday. And we were about to record. I saw the news and like, hey, I texted like, hey, change your plans. Let's do Ben and J-Lo. And she's like, I was thinking about the same. Let's jump on a call to see what we're going to be doing. It was like, wait, we work on the presentation. Susan, you make me work on Friday to get it ready for the other. No, it was like, okay, we went from idea, brainstormer to execution. This morning, all the things were done. We are recording early so you can see the show in time. That is what an executioner person with that features does. So if for any reason you tend to either procrastinate by perfection because you get on the rabbit hole, and I'm sorry I'm pulling my nose all the time because between the cats, the pollen, and pulling my nose, my nose now is peeling. My nose is peeling. So I'm not lying when people says, oh, you're touching your face and your nose. Like, no, get the baseline. I touch my face all the time.
Context.
Yeah, the context. Yeah, don't be so easy to.
Nope.
It's not that way. So what they did has to do with that. She become a person who execute all the plans she have. She is, in order for that, she need to become more conform to the norms to fit in Hollywood, to be given the chance to win an Oscar. Makes sense? Yeah. Again, we start with the eyebrows. That makes sense that she is a doer. She finished everything that she does. Created, she still created. Now she conformed the norms of Hollywood in order to conquer what she wants. But the biggest difference with him, he was too structured. His creativity comes from the structure, and now he's more patient. He's still creative, but not on the structural way. Now he's more like, okay, I'm not 9 to 5. He's still thinking all over the place.
I'm not going to fight with it. If it's work, okay, let's give it a try. Yeah, but I think it's crazy how you can be so structural, and now it's like, okay, just give it a try. And you can see how your face can change. And this change happened, I don't know, 20 years, but it can be like 1 year.
Honey, we have seen changes in weeks in our faces. Now we keep track of our faces and the people that we work with. And sometimes like, Elva, what happened with your stress lines, your creativity lines? What happened with your pouches? Like, we always say in Spanish, you have a culito now in the front, in the forehead. And she was like, well, if somebody would tell me that a couple of years ago, I would have punched her in the face. Now, thank you very much. I love to have a culito on my forehead.
Oh yeah, I love my culito. I love it.
For the ones who doesn't understand Spanish, it's mean as. We're going to get demonetized. I think I'm learning monetization because we already reached. We are not there on the point we want to be this year. So don't forget to subscribe, but we start having monetization. So I'm learning how they can monetize you, depending on the words you says. I think we're never going to make money in YouTube.
No.
Take it as it is, honey.
Yes, it's like, okay, that's going to be, let's let it go. Like, okay.
But
worry.
if after 45 minutes you're still here, it's because you're the right person we want here. We don't want 500,000 of subscribers, 1 million of subscribers. For what? So YouTube can say what we can say, what we cannot say. No, it's about you and because of you. Because these conversations, Elvis and I, we had it like the 3 times a week that we met. Yeah, we met 3 times a week for work. And yeah, we have these conversations all the time. So you need to learn that your features in your face and the things in your face are not your enemy. Those things that maybe you've been criticized or you criticize yourself, maybe are the best thing to happen to you.
Yes, and I agree with you, because the features that you have, it's where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy because, and you say it before, you can use it for whatever you want. It's not because you have, for example, if you have a pointy eyebrows, you are mean. No, it's how you are going. It's how you use it. Because I always say to Susan, I'll have straight eyebrows. I'm going to a point, but I love when she starts talking about things that I don't know, or I just read like, okay, I'm just going to read to have some information. And when she starts talking, it's like, okay. And I told her, I want your brain.
No, honey,
because
it's full of bad things.
That's the pointy eyebrows. She had a lot of things in her mind. You can talk about anything you want.
Yesterday, I was talking with a group of lawyers, and I start talking about like, well, the reason people like you is this and this and this. Oh, you're reading my face. Like, no, these are the studies. And I see people leaning on the computer. You never see lawyers when you present it with lawyers or you do training with lawyers, you don't see them do this. And I saw the lawyers doing this on the screen. I'm like, oh, I got you. And at the end, I start getting on the private. Can you send the study? One of the lawyers that we work with here in Chicago, he worked in accidents, and like, I love your nerdy, dirty brain. And like, Mike, I don't know if I'm happy with that, or I should sue you, or we need to have a legal boundary regarding that. Like, no, it's the best compliment I can give you. Like, well, okay, thank you. But Elba, you are the same. When you come here, the first thing you do, you crawl on that couch and you says goodbye, but it's only 8 a.m. Like, yeah, goodbye. I'm going to be sitting there all day. And what is the best gift I can give to you? And what is the gift then I keep for you when you come in?
My books. And you see the words, my books, not the books. I say my books.
So. Oh yeah, now she has been trained by Amino Ann, so she's crazy with words.
Yes, I love words. Yeah, and you know what? I'm dyslexic. And everyone's supposed to tell me like, no, you're not good with that. And yeah, I'm good. And I love it.
For your straight eyebrows. Yeah. She took a carry-on full of books when she was here. And she stole some of mine too. Then I need to repurchase. You took the ones color-coded with my stickers. So I need to reply. I need to review all those. I love you. You're crazy. Anything else? Because you see, we start having a conversation.
The mouth. What you can see the mouth. It's crazy how he start like having his own feelings for him. Don't talk about that.
He had 4 mouths. Actually, yes, if you see him, he have 4 mouths.
And both pictures have both marks. He talks less from feelings in his business side than his personal. But for both, he is not going to talk like a lot of that, of emotions and feelings and no.
He's not emotional in the way that he pulled the trigger. And I don't know, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one, but I would start taking a really, really deep care on his blood pressure and his heart and something. I saw some things on the face that I think they're warnings. There can be all the things he went through and all the pain he went through, and you can see that on the eyes. You can see on his personal side that you would expect to be happy place because he's finally with the person he was supposed to want to be. We don't know, maybe it was Jennifer, the love of, not J-Lo, Jennifer Garner. No, Jennifer. Oh my God, they have the same name.
Jennifer Lopez. She's Jello. Just put it like Jello.
Oh yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe losing his family, we don't know. But on his personal side and his love side, he's burned out and he become not optimistic. He never was super optimistic person, but now on his personal side, he become like not nice. He doesn't see the world in a way. But the good news to see that is that you are all the time expecting the worst, so you can have reaction and action for things that happen.
Yes, you can be one step ahead.
Yeah,
because you know how things can be happen, so you can be like ready to have the solution.
ready to action. Anything else, my love? Actually, she has a small mouth, and everybody think that.
Yes. She doesn't talk too much. She's not the one that she needs to, because what she does, but she's not the one. And you see one thing, she keeps things for her in her personal life.
Mm-hmm.
More than her business. So, okay.
Yeah. I went to a dinner with lawyers on Saturday, and they start talking, and suddenly one of the lawyers comes and says, the host, I'm like, Susan, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm having the time of my life. I'm like, why you're not talking? Because I'm not a talker.
No.
But you and your shows, when you present and when you train, like, yeah, that is my business side. That's what I need to do, networking and be there and be fluffy and weird and quirky and out there all the time. But in my personal, this is not business for me. This is me having dinner with friends. So I'm more shy and more introvert. And everybody was like, Susan, we didn't know that aspect of you. Like, yeah. So don't judge, think for what you see on the media. Judge people for the features you can read. And that's when you're not going to get deceived, when you're going to see the real person, and when you're going to stop taking things personal and you can see the person how they are, instead what they try to show you because they need to.
Yes. And you know what? I think when you see the news, when you are seeing the news about these people, famous people and things, you start being like, oh no, but yeah, he's right, she's like this, he's like that. If you really want to know what happened, what is really happened with these people, you can use face reading. Mm-hmm. So you are going to know what really happened. You can go and be like more deep. So yeah.
Completely agree. Now, we're going to be recording and teaching this live the next 2 weekends. This weekend is going to be Saturday. The last one is going to be on Sunday. So it's not, the reason we do it on the weekend is not to mess with your personal time, is to give you the chance, because we have students from all around the world that they do not want to miss the recording. So if you register to the newsletter with the link below, you still have time to participate in face reading for sales. The comments that we have from the students who participate in the first session is like, wow. It's another thing. So you're more than welcome to get invited. And on top of that, what you're going to get is the 70-minute class of how to spot a narcissist. Instead to buy it, you have it for free. So register. If you are already registered, you're going to be receiving this week before Friday, the invitation. If you haven't registered yet, you still have time to be included. If it's not in this session, the next one. So don't forget. And on top of that, you can have for free how to spot a narcissist and face reading. Love this study. So now, Elba, if people want to know more about you, about the classes that we have, the classes you teach and we have online about how to learn face reading in Spanish, where they can find you.
You can go at elba@humanbehaviorlab.com. And for you, Susan?
If I'm getting in any trouble, like always, you can contact me at susan@humanbehaviorlab.com. And yes, Elba and I will reply our own emails ourselves. Our assistant only jump on emergencies. Elba and myself, we reply our emails. But why? Because we love to know and we love to hear what you have to say.
Selling is a craft and a science. Come to learn with us the superpower behind behavior for sales. Human Behavior Hacker School.
I love this love story. Reading on their face.
Me too. Me too. It's like we say before, 20 years after, and they finally get together. It's like, okay.
And by the way, for the ones who says face reading is not out there, we're going to talk about, I don't know how we're going to manage, because I don't want to get an infringement. That reason is good to have a lawyer before you're going to mention something, an infringement, but it's an AI dating app who's using face reading now to determine who is your best match. It was using the Indian matchmaker, has been using, actually the Chinese, the Asians use face reading to determine if a marriage is going to be working based on the compatibilities. So again, you can escape what is going on. We prefer not to. The reality is face reading is there. We are analyzing the app. So we are in the process to contact the company to see really what they are using. I hope they reply to us to see what is the algorithm and how it works. But now we have face reading in science. We have face reading in research. We have face reading in legal settings since 1952. That's what we know today as a jury selection. And now we had it like they always were in health and dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, face reading, it's everywhere. And like we say, if you want to know about someone before you know them, go with face reading.
Yeah. Body language and micro expressions are great. But if you don't know how you're talking to the person and what is what we call the platinum rule, talk to others how they need to receive information. So synthesizing, if you talk to me with the story and you come too long with the story, I'm going to start doing this. And you're going to see my face. It's not that I'm not interested in the story. If I don't need the story in order to go there, when we are in legal proceedings or we need to pull the trigger and we at the end of a meeting, you're going to see my reactions because you're talking to the wrong person regarding telling me too long the story. I do know that about myself. Elba knows that she needs bullet points, go to the data. So when we have a meeting, sometimes we do private chats and like, who's going to stop this person? You and me, like, no, okay, it's more your type, it's more my type. I think this client is going to be better for you. You better work with this lawyer. I'm going to be working with the other one. So we don't have any problem against, we both are expert certified in body language and face reading. We are both certified in all the things that you can see. We share the same amount of diplomas with Elba. What I'm saying is, it's not about that. It's about how you talk to others. Again, face reading is a way to have data to communicate with others. And we hope that you take as much as you can and the recordings of these shows.